It was 1990, and Axl Rose, Guns N' Roses' lead singer, was itching for a fight. According to Stephen Hayden's book, Your Favorite Band is Killing Me, What Pop Music Rivalries Reveal About the Meaning of Life, Rose told the British music journalist Mick Wall, "I tell ya, he's gonna get a good ass whooping and I'm the boy to give it to him." The he to whom Rose was referring was Vince Neil, the brash lead vocalist for Motley Crue, who had been bragging in Kerrang!, the magazine Wall worked for, about punching out Izzy Stradlin, Guns N' Roses' rhythm guitarist. Rose raged on, venting to Wall and saying, "But that's the gauntlet, and I'm throwing it down. Hey Vince, whichever way you want to go, man, guns, knives, or fists, whatever you want to do, I don't care." The beef began one drunken night at the Cat House, one of a handful of Sunset Strip clubs at the center of the LA metal scene in the 1980s and early 1990s. And like Wall's interview with Rose, the inciting incident would later be clouded in controversy, with the people involved telling two very different versions of the story. Several months earlier, Izzy Stradlin was at the Cat House at the same time as Vince Neil's then-wife, Cherise Neil, a mud wrestler and model, while her husband was on a whitewater rafting trip. According to Louder, Cherise's version of the story involved being hit on by a drunken Stradlin, who didn't respond well when Neil told him to leave her alone. Cherise went on to allege, "He grabbed my shirt and pulled it down. I slapped him across the face, and he karate kicked me as hard as he could in the stomach." In Stradlin's version of the night's events, he blew Cherise off when she tried to flirt with him. Vince Neil took his revenge on Stradlin at the MTV Video Music Awards on September 6, 1989. That night, Motley Crue presented Guns N' Roses with the award for Best Heavy Metal Video for their song Sweet Child O' Mine, from their seminal album Appetite for Destruction. They all seemed chummy on stage, but while Izzy Stradlin and Axl Rose performed with Tom Petty, Vince Neil waited in the wings. As Neil recounted in Motley Crue's 2001 memoir, The Dirt, when Izzy walked off stage, looking like a cross between Eric Stoltz and Mask and Neil Young, I was waiting for him. The two had words, and Neil punched Stradlin in the face. Stradlin had a split lip, but not much else to show from the confrontation. One of Tom Petty's sound guys punched Neil in the face, and Guns N' Roses manager at the time, Alan Niven, brought Neil to the ground before letting him go. Axl went ballistic and hunted down Motley Crue as the band was leaving the venue. According to Neil in The Dirt, the vocalist was threatening to kill them, adding, "I twirled around. His face was sweaty and twisted." Neil was ready to fight, but Rose backed down and told him not to mess with his band members. Fast forward again to 1990, and after Axl Rose's angry ranting to Mick Wall, the journalist called him back up to make sure the singer was okay with the quotes he'd given. He said he was, and the story, which prominently featured Rose's threats to Vince Neil, appeared in the pages of Kerrang! Rose immediately denied making the statements, and Wall recounted in his book, War, the unauthorized biography of William Axl Rose, "When I learned that he was now all but accusing me of making up the story, I felt shattered." But Rose's denials didn't end the feud. Neil went on MTV and invited Rose to fight him on live television.
"Axl, if you're watching this, I want to challenge you to a fight. I'm going to give you the time, and I'm going to give you the place."
Rose declined that fight, but sent word for Neil to meet him in the parking lot of Tower Records on Sunset Boulevard, and later at the Venice Boardwalk. However, Rose never showed up. Neil recounted in Your Favorite Band is Killing Me that Rose didn't have the courage to fight him, and with that, their beef quietly died out.